Now that the case is closed, I feel that it is okay for me to share this. This is a tale of caution about a scandal in the doll community, namely the Masterpiece doll community. And since I have friends who are now interested in these types of dolls, I just want to caution everyone about what happened and to urge you to not do business with Patricia Kautz. She sells her dolls and uses the PayPal you see listed here under her husband's name, Dwayne Kautz. On March the 13th, I purchased Jasmine by Monica Levenegg from Patricia. I was so excited, and as you can see, I had even picked out a name for her. I wanted to name her McKenna Jade. So I paid in full for her because I really loved her. Then you can imagine my disdain when days had went by and I still had not received any tracking information on my doll. So 5 days after I purchased her, I messaged Patricia and I asked, did she have a date of when my doll was going to be shipped? That is when she told me it was going to be 15 days before she shipped my doll. And she went on to say that she was disabled and that her and her husband didn't get into town very much. So she tried to take a box or two at a time to ship because she had customers ahead of me that needed their dolls. If she had mentioned that in the listing, I never would have purchased the doll because I personally think that's a ridiculous amount of time to make somebody wait before you ship them something. But the thing is, she had no intention of shipping this doll to me. But still, I waited a few more days and I messaged her once again. And I said, can you please give me a date of when you're going to ship my doll? And I expressed to her that I was not happy with her making me wait so long and that if I'd have known ahead of time, I wouldn't have bought the doll. Like, I was honest with her and told her I would not have purchased this doll had I known that. That should have been disclosed up front. She would just say, I will send your doll soon. I will send your doll soon. So I waited again, asked again, same thing again. I will send your doll soon. So I contacted the admin of the group where I had purchased the doll through and let her know what one of her group members was doing. I showed her the proof and she handled it fairly and swiftly and talked to Patricia and told her that as far as her group went, she was not allowed to post any more dolls for sale until she got out the dolls that she had already sold to the waiting customers. Which I think is more than fair because you should not be allowed to continue to sell and sell when you still haven't shipped out previous dolls to their rightful owners who have paid for these dolls. At that point, she became very rude with Misty, the administrator, and even sent me a rude message. And I told her, I was like, look, I'm your customer. You should be trying to please me, not the other way around. I should not be jumping through flaming hoops to please you. You, as a seller, should be jumping through flaming hoops to please me. And coming from someone who has sold dolls in the reborn community, I just know that I would never even expect somebody to wait 15 days or however long to mail them a doll, nor would I ask them to, nor would they even be okay with that. So she gets rude and says, I've been doing this a lot longer than you. Then I respond with, that doesn't matter. It doesn't make you right. And then she just responds, soon. So anyways, I sent her a message back and I said, so by Friday? Because at that point, by her own standards, that Friday, which this message was sent on a Monday, that Friday would have been 15 days since I had purchased the doll on the 13th of March. She looked at the message and did not respond because she wasn't going to confirm yes by Friday or whatever because she just wanted to keep saying soon, soon, soon. Well, then the next day, I got a screenshot of her where she had posted going to get her nails done. But yet, she doesn't get to town very much. And so she can't ship my doll. So, yeah, at that point, I knew I'd been scammed. So I immediately contacted PayPal and filed a dispute. So they told me, they were like, okay, I now submitted all the proof of our conversation between us, the transaction and everything. So they told me that they would handle it, not to speak to her any further, and that they would take care of it, everything, because they had the proof. So then at 2 a.m. the next day after I filed the dispute, she sent me this message through the PayPal messaging system, had stopped responding to me through Messenger, and said that I think she was trying to say, I plan on giving you your money back because you don't deserve any of my dolls. So I just responded with, please don't insult me. Just give me my money back so we can part ways. At this point, I'd had enough of this lady. I no longer wanted to do business with her. I just wanted to be done. So needless to say, she did not give me my money back. And 2 days later, she reposted this same doll for sale that I had already paid in full for. She reposted her for sale in a different group. And it was so hard for me not to say anything, but I didn't because PayPal told me not to. I took a screenshot of it, called PayPal. They asked me to submit it. They sent me a link, so I submitted the proof of where she had reposted the same doll that I had a dispute on trying to get my money back for. So at that point, she was committing fraud. So PayPal informed me that she had until April the 5th to willingly refund my money, and that after that, her account would be flagged and she would no longer be able to buy or sell through that account. And apparently they had informed Patricia of this as well because she began to get worried. Other people were also saying, where's my doll or where's my money? Unfortunately, they had paid through friends and family. I paid through goods and services. So please, I don't care how good of a reputation someone has. You pay through goods and services no matter what, so that you have a leg to stand on. So anyways, she tries to backpedal, Patricia does at this point, and puts up a post saying that someone has stolen all her doll's pictures and is posting them for sale. And so a scammer was taking everyone's money, but of course had no doll to send. That was a lie. I had correspondence with her back and forth in our messenger stating that she received the money to the PayPal of Dwayne Kautz, her husband, which is, according to other vendors and people that she has done business with that I spoke to, the same PayPal account she has used for at least 9 years. So the only scammer taking people's money was Patricia herself, not a poser, not someone who stole her pictures. So as of today, April the 6th, she did not willingly refund my money, so PayPal had to refund me, and her account is now flagged. So that means she can no longer buy or sell on PayPal until she makes this right. And the only way she can make it right is by refunding PayPal because they have now flagged and frozen her account until she pays the money back. And my only hope is that the people who paid her through friends and family can go to their bank and submit their proof and do a chargeback so that they can get refunded because they are not going to get their doll. And I think it is absolutely ridiculous to do people this way, especially new people coming into the hobby and they're just excited and they're wanting to buy a doll. So this is just a cautionary tale. Avoid this woman. I know I have several friends who are wanting to get into masterpiece dolls, and this is just my warning to my friends and everyone else. Do not do business with this woman. She has been blocked from several groups from selling for this very same reason. She has done this to other people before. So my hope with this video is to just stop anyone else from having to go through this headache that I've went through. And the people who are now trying to figure out, who paid through friends and family, how to get their money back, that no one else will have to go through what they are going through, because they are going to have to go through a lot more red tape just to get their money back. Pay goods and services, ask questions, and please don't let someone scam you. This woman tried her best to make me out to be a liar, and in the beginning, she even had friends backing her up. But I told them, I have proof. The proof is there. It was ruled in my favor. She's a scammer. This is new behavior. This woman has sold dolls in the past that went off without a hitch, and I guess that's why people were so ready to not believe what was going on. But what would we have to gain by saying this? It's the truth. and there's no other way around it. Don't give this woman your money. She will not give you a doll. And of course, she would have to use some other form of payment now because she can't use PayPal anymore. Not until she rectifies the situation. This has been a cautionary warning. Please be careful when purchasing dolls. And I hope that this video is helpful.